Before I show you any more commands, I want to spend some focused time on the concept of relative versus absolute path names. There are many commands that require you to specify a path name, and it's important for you to understand how the path name you specify is interpreted by the computer. A path name describes the location of a file. It's sort of like a set of directions to reach a particular place. So to use the metaphor of location, let's look at an example of directions to reach a destination. The point we want to reach on this map is Kendrick Lake. We might give a set of directions as follows. Turn left on Florida. Turn left on Hoyt. Enter the park and continue along the path. If a person was standing at point A, the directions are fine. If a person was standing at points B, C, or D, the directions would not work. Basically, these directions are relative to point A. I could make these same directions absolute by changing them to look like, start at West Iowa Avenue and South Garrison Street. Head north on South Garrison Street, turn left on Florida, turn left on Hoyt, enter the park and continue along the path. What I've done is explicitly state the starting point. I can do the same types of things when I specify a path name in the terminal. I can use either a relative path name or an absolute path name. For the following examples, I am going to assume I have a directory structure that looks like the following. I will start with an explanation of relative path names. There are basically three ways to specify a relative path name. The simplest is to just start naming the path without any leading characters. Assuming that I am located inside of the grapes directory, the path could look something like green/seedless. I could also specify the same path name by using single dot notation. The path name would look like dot/green/seedless. Using the single dot notation, I'm just explicitly stating to start at my current location. But as I've said, it's the same as the previous example. In either case, the computer will look at the seedless directory. And the single dot notation is still considered relative because the location that the dot specifies is relative to wherever I'm located at the time. Another way to use a relative path name is to use the double dot notation. The double dot means to move up one level. For example, assuming again that I'm inside the grapes directory, I could specify a path like ../apples. This instructs the computer to move up one level from where I am located into the fruits directory and then traverse down into the apples directory. Once again, this is considered relative because the location the double dot specifies is relative to wherever I am located at the time. I can combine a series of double dots as well. For example, I could specify a path like ../vegetables/asparagus. This instructs the computer to move up two levels from where I'm located, into the root directory, and then traverse down into the vegetables directory and continue to the asparagus directory. Using relative path names can be more convenient in some situations and less convenient and trickier to use in other situations. Sometimes it may be preferable to use absolute path names. Writing my first example using an absolute path name looks like /fruits/grapes/green/seedless. Notice that I tell the computer to start from the root directory. I can write my second example like /fruits/apples. My third example would look like /vegetables/asparagus. I can also specify another type of absolute path name using a special type of alias. The tilde represents my home directory. I will talk more about the home directory in the lesson on the cd command. For now, all you need to know is that a path name like tilde/document/whitepapers is using an absolute path name because the tilde has a specific mapping for each user. As you gain more experience on the command line, you will develop a sense of when you prefer to use relative path names and when you prefer to use absolute path names. I'll wrap up this lecture with a recap of what I've covered. I have also included the summary slide as a resource in this lecture. A path name specifies the location of a file on the computer. There are three ways to specify a relative path name. Unprefixed, for example, green/seedless. Single dot notation, for example, dot/green/seedless. Double dot notation, for example, ../fruits/apples. There are two ways to specify an absolute path name. Fully qualified, for example, /fruits/grapes/green/seedless. and home-based. For example, ~documents/whitepapers. See you in the next lecture.